One. Welcome everybody to That's Game Stuff. Not good stuff this time, game stuff. It's our kindly monthly, we try, show for a roundtable discussion
Feels
about
like it's been 2 months.
It probably has. I don't know. But last time on this show, we talked about Starfield. And this time, we are going to finish talking about Starfield.
So when you do that, I'll go get my stuff out of the oven. Just there you go.
It'll be
Well, now the audience knows that you have stuff in the oven.
They do.
A bun in the oven.
We're going to come take it before we get to it. Whoa.
Thomas, I didn't know.
What do we not know?
I've been busy, all right.
So before we get to Starfield, let's just go over some news real fast. So as you know, video game sales charts come out like 2 months behind because they got to count everything up. So this is for August, which feels like a long time ago. But in August, Madden NFL 24 was the top game, followed by Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Is there Bigfoot in Rubicon?
I mean, you can get big feet.
Remnant 2 was a holdover. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
How?
Why is that up there? I don't know. High March, Zelda still strong. Diablo 4. MLB
Man,
the
Diablo
show.
came and went because people were like,
It did.
Diablo. And then like the next day.
It really did.
Yeah.
I really want to play MLB the show. Like, I don't know why.
I love MLB the show.
I love for some reason, I just want to play a baseball game. I have no idea why.
I don't think I've ever played a baseball game in my entire life.
What?
They're
Wow.
pretty fun.
They're fun.
Except for like Mario baseball, but I don't think it counts.
Does Mario have baseball?
Does the show actually have a story almost? Because you like play as a person?
Yeah, it's kind of like all sports games right now. You get drafted, you got to work your way up. The baseball one, you go down to the minors and you have to work yourself up to the major leagues, and then you can go in the Hall of Fame if you qualify.
Yeah, I want to play this one and Forza.
I miss NCAA. What was it, like 2000?
That's coming back,
man.
next
And,
year.
you start off as a freshman, and then you eventually get a Heisman, and you're like, yay.
They had to get rid of it because of player likeness. They couldn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
they weren't paying the players.
It is coming back. It's coming back next year, so we'll see it. All right. So that is the best-selling video games in the United States in August 2023. Yay.
And this is October.
So the big So next time we'll have September. The big news was Microsoft's deal to buy Activision for $69 billion.
Billion?
Billion dollars.
Oh my God.
A big old B was approved.
God.
Any thoughts? I'm not a big fan of corporations buying corporations. I just think it makes everything worse. So
well, it's like everything Microsoft. They can't produce anything actually good, so they just buy people who do good things. So
I mean, they bought Minecraft. It didn't change Minecraft at all.
Well, that's the thing. They don't do anything with it. They just buy it and go like,
Just
well,
want the
you
money,
can only play it on an Xbox now or PC. It's like, great. Appreciate that.
Well, Minecraft is everywhere, but
well, I know, but you know what I mean. Like Starfield.
Away from you.
True. It was just on that list. It was bestseller of the freaking August somehow.
Dude, it's just gonna pre-download on stuff, and you're like,
it's the new U2 album. It's on your phones. It's on.
That's true.
So some other news. The KOTOR remake was canceled, which I kind of glad.
Hello?
You're back, Thomas.
Oh, there I am.
Back.
You were robotic for a minute.
What was like?
It's more.
that happens every time he eats food.
So KOTOR remake canceled. I'm glad. I'd rather have a remaster than a remake of KOTOR.
Really?
Yeah, but we're never gonna get that either.
Why would you rather have a remaster than a remake?
Because I don't want them to change anything.
Not even like the clunky gameplay?
KOTOR? No, no.
No. The gameplay is actually like part of it though, and that's because
I couldn't imagine it any other way.
It's like an RTS type thing.
I don't want them touching the story at all. I don't really want them recording like new dialogue or anything in it. Maybe if you want to touch up the gameplay, fine. I don't care.
But it could be more Disney-esque stuff.
No, stop it.
I wouldn't mind if you added a voiceover for your actual character. I hate that in RPGs, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I hate that. It takes me out of it so much.
I've played so much like JRPGs, I really don't mind it. But it is nice to have it when you do.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like Mass Effect.
Unless it's like LA Noire, where you like say something very neutral and then it's super hostile. You're like I didn't mean that. That's the 1940s
just
talking, not
you
me.
like cheese.
It's like Mass Effect. I don't agree with that. You son of a...
Yeah. Remember the reporter?
No.
You know the punch?
Dude. Anyway, we'll get to that later.
All right. And then the last bit of news, there was a report that Lord of the Ring Golem, the apology written by them was actually written by ChatGPT. So
that would make sense. Screwed up half of
it. You had to pay for it too.
Oh God. Oh,
you have to pay for the apology.
Yeah,
they pay for premium ChatGPT.
What a disaster that game has been, dude! Holy crap! Oh man, there needs to be a documentary made about this game because it would be fascinating.
This crazy. Game made everyone happy on the internet.
Just from how bad it was,
except for everyone who worked on the game.
But even just the concept, like who wants to play as Gollum? Like who wants to do that?
Bad idea. You know what I think would be great, but would probably be terrible, or people would think would be terrible. Have a Lord of the Rings beat 'em up, like the old arcade games in the 90s, where it's just side scrolling and you're
it's just Double Dragon, but
just whacking orcs and
oh no, it needs to be that do you remember that
like Golden
Calibur, that Soul Calibur adaptation of like Star Wars, where they had those.
Oh yeah,
where they had like the ring outs and everything for Star Wars characters. It was great. Do that.
But do like Golden Axe with Lord of the Rings, man. That'd be some fun times.
I kind of like that Double Dragon. It's just like Legolas and Aragorn, like sleeveless jackets.
You can like throw the orcs around.
There's an orc with a mohawk, and he's just like, "Come on, punk!"
Man, they need to make that. Make that now. Because me and my brother play Ninja Turtles like all the time, Shredder's Revenge, and I'm just like, make more of these games. And like, I'm like, which ones can we make? And I'm like, Lord of the Rings, regular show. Regular show would be a great beat 'em up, but.
They kind of already did that, though, didn't they?
They had a game. I don't know what they did with it, though. But that's enough of my imagination. Let's go to the stars of Starfield. Last time we did a really early review, none of us had progressed that much, except for, Michael was the farthest. But
I didn't beat it. I'm on the last mission.
Oh no!
Where you're like you're like fighting. Should we like build that up or like?
Yeah, spoiler warnings. We'll tell you when we get to that part to cover your ears.
Yeah.
So Michael, you finished it.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it. Oh, okay. It is going to be hard to talk without spoilers. Sure. Have you done anything of the after game, or are you just done?
I played enough to try and get an idea of it, so I went as far as where it got back to where stuff I had done before, and then I was like, okay, I'm good now. And then I kind of just talked to Carlos about it because he's beaten it like 6 or 7 times. I'm like, okay, cool. You have fun with that.
What? Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. I like you. I have a little interest in the after game. I'm just scanning planets. That's all I'm doing because I saw that guy that scanned them all.
Yeah.
And I was pretty far in my first playthrough, but then you have to like start all over.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just going planet to planet. I think I'll just do that like once a day or once a weekend.
Let me knock out my couple planets today. All right, moving on.
Yeah, but the after stuff, I really don't care. I mean, it's kind of a good idea what they did. But there's just not enough change. I mean, I wish that this was like totally opposite of what the first story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're trying not to spoil it.
Yeah, there are a few things Carl's told me about that are cool and interesting, but it's still basically the same thing. You just kind of interact with things differently, or there are times where you see people you wouldn't expect in ways that I can't say at this point in time.
At this point, okay, yeah. So this is our final review, our final thoughts on Starfield. Jared, you're almost done, right?
Yeah, you guys can spoil stuff.
I'm about to say you basically get it.
Yeah,
at the point you're at.
Yeah,
you know what's happening,
and I'm done. I'm done with this game. I just want it to end. So,
but I haven't played a minute of it,
and you're
not
a
single second.
Well, shut your ears, and then I don't know.
Here, let me cover my ears.
So
there you go.
Last week when we decided to do this review, I was like still scanning planets. I was holding off on the end.
What is with you in scanning planets in every game?
I like that. But I like the 100%.
Mass Effect 2, man.
I like to see that 100%. But I had the same feeling as Jared, like about the story. I'm like, I'm done. I don't really care. I mean, last Monday, I just knocked out the store. I was like, this is.
I hit a point where I was like, I'm kind of just done, and then I just like beeline to the end.
Yeah.
And when I went to the story missions, they were just like going like when you do the story missions, it just flies by.
It's just like see ya. Here's the end.
Yeah. So what do you think overall? I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say we're all pretty down on this actual story of the game. So let's talk about positives after finishing the game. What do you think was the most positive aspect of the game? For me, it's just exploration, like I've already said, but I'll let you and Jerry go. Go ahead, Michael.
I would actually say I'm a little higher probably than you guys are on the actual story. I found it more. That's the most. I was talking to Thomas about this after a thing we'll talk about later that we saw. But we like he's asking me what I thought of it, and I was like, it's just so like what I said last time we talked about it. It's just so disjointed. This game is so separated, and there's no flow to it at all.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating that I just feel like I'm always taken out of the game. And I was telling him, I was like, I would 1,000,000% rather have had 10 planets. 10 planets, densely interesting.
Just huge planets.
You get to one, you spend a bunch of time there. And I know there's like things you could do, like Pete Hines, who actually retired today. Congratulations to Pete. I actually like him a lot at Bethesda. But he was talking about before the game that he would, while he was testing it, he would intentionally spend like a week of real time when he played and he wouldn't leave a planet. I'm like, that's pretty cool that you can do that, but I was never enticed to do that. Like the longest I ever spent was on Neon, and that was doing all the missions there.
Yeah.
By the time I finished, I was like, okay, I really want to get out of this place. Like it was only a few hours. And I was like, I need to get out of here. But
go.
But like comparing this to something like Skyrim, which I don't know, have either of you ever played Skyrim? Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's like, have you played Skyrim, Thomas?
How have you not played Skyrim?
Oh, we're not fantasy guys.
Well, either that or Fallout or something like that. Like those games are. I mean, there is loading in them, but it's also like
I've never played Bethesda really. Oh, I've played the Dooms that came out for like 2016, and then the games. One after that, and then I played an old Baldur's Gate Bethesda.
No, what is
Baldur's
Gate about? Yeah, okay, but yeah,
so that's it.
Like those games, you feel like you're in this world, and exploring, you kind of get that kind of sense of, hey, this is over there, that town is over there. You feel involved in the world. Starfield, I feel like I'm just poking dots and going to areas that load, and I feel like it's very, because it is so lacking in the actual traversal. Like, I don't know if you know, Thomas, but the space exploration is basically click to undock, little cutscene of undocking, go to your map, click where you want to go. I mean, you could technically look in the direction of your point and hold R on the keyboard, whatever it is, and you can fast travel to that.
I've heard there's no actual
there's
space
no travel.
exploration.
Yeah, there's no travel
it's
whatsoever.
It's a point and click thing, basically.
Yeah.
The encounters that you have are when you fast travel to a new place, you might have the Crimson Fleet or something there, or someone's there to talk to you about cargo, or hey, have you seen this, or whatever, some random, but it's never like genuine interactions throughout the game. That's what killed me so much. I was like, I feel like I'm playing such a blocky simulation instead of an actual experience and being in it. That's the biggest thing. So I've gone down this massive negative thing. I'll bounce back to the positive really fast. I did actually enjoy the story and what they're doing. It's a very cool idea with how they did play with New Game Plus, and we'll get into that more later. But I like that kind of enticement to it. I just wish I was more into it. But the one thing that just ate me alive, you were talking about, like, you like the planet scanning, Joseph. The one thing that ate me alive is anytime I clicked the freaking ship editor button, dude, it was hours and hours. I probably, every time I clicked it, I never went in there for less than 4 hours. That's not an exaggeration. I was like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, we got to build it this way. Dude, it's simultaneously frustrating because you're like, the cockpit is connected. Like, you'll have one piece that's not connected in there, but like rebuilding the ship, oh man. Oh, the customization.
I didn't do any of that or crafting.
I got lost in it. I tried crafting just for like the skill upgrades, and I wanted to be able to like get a good suit and put a bunch of stuff together. But man, the ship builder ate me alive. I loved it. I just want a game of that, but a little more free and a little more. You kind of, at first I was a little disappointed because like that's all I have, but then you realize you get more at each of the stations, more customization options, everything. And then if you build an outpost and put a base there, then you have all of them in one spot. So that's cool. But yeah, so that was what ate me alive. I'll let Jared go now.
Yeah, Jared, what was your?
So these are positives.
Yeah, what was your biggest time waster in this game?
There's not a lot of positives for me. I like the side quests. The side quests were fun. Like getting hired to do like odd jobs is really fun to me. Like I said, you get hired to make drugs, like pharmaceutical drugs. It's like Breaking Bad for a minute, and then you can.
What was your favorite side quest, guys? Real fast.
Goodness me. I finished it quite a bit ago, so it's been some time for me to play. I played 2 games in the time since I played this game.
For me, it was.
I know what it was.
Oh, go ahead.
The Mantis one. I don't know if you guys ever did that one.
That one's fun.
That was pretty.
You basically go to Batman's cave and you find the superhero.
And that was the best suit.
Yeah,
I thought,
for a while.
Yeah.
I just finished that one like a couple days ago.
End. For me, I like the one where you're a corporate spy and they like kind of send you to different corporations.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Neon. And that was a cool suit too. I use that suit a lot. Is that infiltrator suit? But that was my favorite. Jared, any more positive side quests?
You made me lose my train of thought.
I thought the combat was
I was gonna say that, like, especially coming from like a Fallout first person where it's just clunky and awful, in my opinion. Like this, I had so much fun. Anytime I was in combat, I was having so much fun in this game. The movement was great, the abilities were great. The guns, I really found the guns really satisfying, which is rare for like me and Bethesda, like these type of games. Like if you go to like Dishonored or something, I don't know if there aren't guns in that, but anyway. Or like Doom, there you go, that's a better example. But like their Fallout games, that's what always drags me out of those is the combat. Because I'm like, I don't want to do VATS, but then I'm going to miss. It takes 45 minutes to kill something. But this was just like, you felt like you could flow and move through things really quickly. I liked it.
Yeah. I feel like being able to pick up most everything in the game. I love collecting things, and even like some of those like toys that you see on desks, I would collect like the little dog plushies.
I saw those. Yeah. What was your favorite chunk?
Oh man, there's some good chunks in there. There's one that looked like a square cheeseburger, just a cube. That was cool. I get so mad when I see an empty package of chunks. You pick it up and it's empty. You're like, who does this?
Yeah.
But I even like when you go to the Chunks store on Neon and it's like Chunks. Chunks was probably the best highlight.
And they had that premium chunk place at the Paradise Planet.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Chunks is probably the best part of this game, yeah.
Chunks, yeah. Did you do the quest where you had to give them the secret sauce for Chunks?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. For me, like I said, the planet scanning, and then the skill tree. I just want to see like everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm at level like 65, I think.
Oh wow.
And I just kind of I want to keep building skills because there's tons of skills that do like different stuff. Some of them aren't that great because like one is one where you make the enemies run away because you're too intimidating. That one kind of stinks because they I'm trying to kill them and they just like take off. They'll like leave buildings. They'll run out into the planet.
Well, now you know how it feels when you run away from a big boss.
And then there's this other one where the jetpack kind of like puts people on fire if you take off in the middle of
one.
Yeah, but the only bad part is if you're like trying to scan animals and you take off, they get all mad at you because you're burning them. And those freaking animals will run across the planet to kill you.
Those things, like, I had one, I was running for ages. I was like, oh, he'll just leave me alone for a while. And I turned around, I was like, how are you still here?
And then there's these ones that shoot like electricity out of their head.
Oh, those are so annoying.
I have like no social skills in that game. I have it all in tech, like physical and like guns. But I have none of the science and none of the social.
Yeah, when I started it, I'm like, I do my regular thing where I do all like health and shields mostly, but I'm like, wow, I'm really missing a lot of these skills that are kind of cool.
There's a gamer on YouTube that kind of did the same thing you did, Jared, for Fallout. So he put all of his skill points into strength and dexterity, and so he's like, and like he has like no intelligence, no nothing, but he's literally like the most dexterous person alive and the strongest person alive. But he also has like no charisma, so he's like, I am Lord Death of Murder Mountain, but I have zero social skills whatsoever. It's like every conversation with me is like having a hostage negotiation. It's terrible. It's so bad. But
Michael is like, I cannot not persuade people. I'm over here saying the wrong thing every second.
That's the first thing I do is persuasion up, all the way as fast as I can go.
You need the mind control thing. Did you get that? Okay, so we talked about kind of stuff we liked. Let's go to the negative. I think for me, so we have a friend who's been streaming a lot lately, Carlos. And he's on Twitch. I think his name's Karosu. Is that how you say it?
Karosu or something like that?
Karosu.
1 second. I will pull up the thing.
But anyway, so like check him out. He's on Twitch and he likes people to watch him play Starfield. So.
It is Karuso. It's Karrosu on Twitch.
And he's deep into Starfield. So if you want someone who loves Starfield, go to Carlos.
But he put a comment in our chat, and we were talking about how Microsoft bought Activision, and he was like, "Well, look at how they bought Bethesda, and look how they got Starfield out." But for me, I was thinking this game feels really rushed. It felt like it could use some polish to it. Mostly,
even like the combat just looks like what was that? Anthem. It looks like Anthem to me.
Oh God, no. The combat's actually really good.
The combat's probably the strongest.
Yeah, it's really good. I had a blast with the combat.
Not for Anthem.
There's only some.
I have no idea what you said. You cut out. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
There's only some issues I have with the combat. Sometimes in fire or like gunfights, you'll hide behind the wall, but they can still get you somehow.
Yeah.
It's like if you go too late, it doesn't know that you're behind the wall, and you still take the damage.
Like
and I was
Call
like,
of Duty stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes the guns will stick through the wall and they can shoot you.
Huh.
So yeah, I've run into that. The game crashes a lot on me. I'm playing on Xbox.
I think I had 2 crashes on PC.
It crashes a lot for me, but I'm on an S, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
And then the ability, if you like duck, it like camouflages you.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like what's her name has that ability?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have a head for a whole mission because it got stuck.
Yeah. So it feels like this game could have been polished up a lot more. I think they needed to get it out because Microsoft really needed something, and I think that worked for them. I think this game is their big, like, the game they needed to get people talking and stuff like that. But it feels like they could have polished it up a little more. The dialogue is very clunky. There's like parts where you have to like get something from someone, and they're like, "You can't have that. That's like private." And you'll be like, "Please," and they'll be like, "Okay, you can have it." So stuff like that, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I had several missions where it's like, okay, you talk to this person, now go talk to them, and they'll give you your orders. And I walk in, they're like, "What are you doing here?" And then they won't talk to me anymore, and they'll try and talk to him. Get out! I'm like, you have a blue icon above your head. I need to talk to you, but they just kept telling me to get out. And I'm like,
that's fine. You've chosen death.
I have to leave the planet, go do something else, then come back missions later. And then he was like, "Oh, hey, you want to do your orders?" I was like,
and we talked about how it'd be nice to have some kind of ground vehicle.
Oh God, yes.
Make planet traversing faster.
I just hate all the science dialogue.
I thought
not the like just like they're talking about science, but the whole like scientists are great. Like you're welcome for us being scientists. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, they go heavy on the science worship, and it's like, man.
That's why Carlos loves it so much.
Yeah.
They have his church in there. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, man, it's pretty bad, but I think some of the side quests are kind of monotonous. It's like, you do this pretty much the same thing. Hey, there's a guy missing on the planet. Can you go find him? Or can you please kill all the pirates for us? One thing that's kind of annoying is like, hey, there's pirates in space. Can you go kill them? And then you got to go back down and get paid, or just to complete the mission.
Got to go through like 7 loading screens.
Yeah, so it's like, can you just call me from orbit and like make it my decision if I want to get paid to go back down there and get paid, or just say goodbye? I did like being a space cowboy. That was fun. Freestar Ranger.
Yeah. And then you first get deputized, and then you become a full-fledged sheriff. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like the side quests worked a lot better for me than the actual story. The problem with the story, if we can go to spoilers right now. And Jared, you said we could spoil this for you, but I think you already know.
One more gripe. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm pretty like accepting of people and like pretty open-minded. Like I don't care what you believe. I honestly think that's cool. But this game, if you believe in anything, they're like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's not science. Go away. And I'm like, why do you have these religions if you're just gonna
they do poo-poo on anyone who doesn't go science.
Yeah, that is true.
And real fast, while we're still on negatives, let's talk about the freaking cast members of this. I basically didn't like anyone.
I didn't.
I would take one person with me on the thing, and then like it just got to a point where I'm just like, you have to go. I can't talk to you anymore. All you do is complain and whine.
Okay, let's go one by one. Sam, decent guy. He's okay. He cries a little too much.
He does cry a lot.
Yeah,
he's very emotional, and
he was the best.
I hate his daughter.
In spoilers, he's the one who croaked in my playthrough.
Croaked in mine too.
Jared said he didn't croak in his.
No,
did you
Sarah
go?
Died.
Did you go to the eye, or did you stay at the?
No, I stayed at the lodge.
Oh, so he was at the lodge. Interesting.
real fast.
And then you brought up.
Hold on, Joseph, stop.
You brought up his daughter.
Yeah.
After he dies, she's like nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Really? I talked to her like once or twice, and then
she's not like in the lodge.
Poof.
No, I went down there once, and she's like, "Get out! I hate you!" And then she was gone, like forever. No one ever mentioned her again.
Speaking of that piece of, we had a funeral for Sarah. I guess you have a funeral for Sam if he dies, but I go up to her because everyone's sad, everyone's mourning. I'm like, hey, Cora, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
I was like, how's you doing? And she's like, nothing's gonna be the same. I hate why is it like this? And I was like, we're here for each other. We're here for each other. She's like, just leave me alone. I hate everything. And I was like, I want to just get rid of this kid.
Did you get the other girl?
Yeah.
No.
The other little girl?
That was alone on the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that pretty much replaced her.
Yeah, it's just replaced. I know, like, you guys could have been friends, but no, they just never really met her. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw his daughter, like, after a while.
Yeah, she just disappears. Oh, they don't even mention
She actually literally did leave in my game. I forget. I can't remember. She went with someone. Oh, darn.
Really? She left with someone?
She went to go live with someone who, dang it, who was it?
Was it the grandpa?
I think it was. Yeah, well, either that, I can't remember.
And that's another thing. I went to the grandpa after he died. He didn't care. He was just like, hey, how's it going?
Well, he hated him. Barrett won't stop hitting on me. Like every conversation.
Barrett, man. That man.
Every conversation, it leads to him flirting with me. I'm like, no.
He is so annoying on the ship. He's like, hey,
I got something for you. I got something. I'm like, I don't care. It's probably a sandwich.
I just put my hands on my, I'm like, stop.
Oh man.
I never talked to the old guy. I really don't know much about him besides his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either. I
you have to do a mission with him.
Yeah, I did the one where like you meet his wife, but that's like all I know about him.
Yeah, Vasco, he's just a giant piece of
I would love Vasco if he didn't freaking get in the way every gunfight.
Big.
I got a new cowboy after Sam died. There was one on Cheyenne.
You just replaced him?
Yeah, he was just in this bar, and he's like, "Hey, can I go on your ship? And I'm free." And I'm like, "Sure." I don't have to pay you.
I guess.
Did you guys recruit any of the other people?
I don't think so. I don't remember if there was any weird ones that I got.
I do like Vlad. He's pretty cool.
Yeah,
he's just like a weird pirate man.
The freaking other girl,
Vlad died on mine.
Oh, he did. Dang. The one that crouches and disappears. What's her name?
Oh, Andreja or something like that.
Like I was like, oh, you're gonna be cool. Like I'm gonna have you on my ship. She was like the first person that just went downhill so fast, man. She's just supposed to be like this tough chick, whatever. It just became this complete, nonstop complaining about everything and everyone. And I'm like, oh my God.
And then like the security guy shot me and she was mad at me. Like she almost left the ship because I got shot. I got the miners. Did you guys get the miners back? Like from the very beginning of the game?
Oh yeah. Lynn and Heller.
Yeah, I got them and then stuck them on a planet somewhere.
Hi guys.
Lynn is just in my ship somewhere. Yeah, she's every once in a while, hey Dusty, and I'm like, what the?
Who are you?
I hate that they shame you for picking things up and getting fat.
I know. It's like you don't need that, do you?
It's like if they did it once, but every time you pick something up, do you really need that? You don't need to pick up all that. And I'm like, dude, shut up.
Okay,
it's my space adventure, not yours.
So going back to the story, and this is where we're going to get to spoilers. Jared, I think you already know this because you kind of commented on something, but so the story is the multiverse, basically. You find these artifacts, and they lead you to this thing called the Unity, which takes you to the multiverse, and you get reborn as this thing called the Starborn, which are they're introduced and they're kind of the antagonists, but they're basically other versions of your friends. Like Sam is one of the guys, and then the old guy's another guy.
See, I was like when they first showed the emissary and it started talking to me, I was like, "Is that Sarah?" And it was like Sarah, and I was like, "What the?" And then, that's the one good character, the Hunter.
Mm-hmm. He's cool
because before he's a bad guy, you just find him in like bars and stuff. and he would have like conversations with me. And I'm like, oh, you're great. And I was like, I can't wait till I see that guy again. And then he attacked us. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Did you guys like? How did you play that out? Did you say? Because I told them like, screw both you guys. I'm not on either your side. Did you guys do it? Yeah. It's interesting.
Like, I'm all powerful. You can't stop me. I don't care how strong you think you are.
But I was a little disappointed on the direction the story went, because it was like the multiverse is like, wow, you copied like everyone else, what everyone else is doing right now. I'd rather it been just like aliens that you first, like you're the first culture to find these aliens. But
I was wanting it so bad to be like, oh, the first contact of alien life, but
so that was a big letdown for me. But it does take you into the, like we said, it's kind of interesting how they do the new game is that you have the choice to go to like a whole different reality. So that's kind of cool because, and then they give you the ship, and the suit. The suit's the best suit. Yeah, so 100%. You got the best suit now, and the ship's pretty cool. It's not terribly strong, but it's fast. And what's weird about it, it's got like no rooms on it, like you're used to like on the ship. So all your guys are just like standing behind you. And then I have the fan guy with me currently.
Gosh.
So I'll be in space like fighting, and then he'll like just walk in front of my view. And then I had this one side quest where these miners wanted to leave the planet, or these settlers wanted to leave the planet. They weren't having any success there. So I picked them up, but you know how I'm still scanning, and they want to go to Earth, but I'm not close to Earth yet. So they just stand behind me in the ship.
You see a whole crowd of people just looking over your shoulder. You brought up an interesting point, or a question I have. How'd you guys play this? Because you seem like you played in first person if you had like people walking in your vision.
No, I actually third person.
Oh, okay.
But the spaceship is where they get in my view.
Gotcha.
Jared?
Third person.
Okay.
Third person.
Fair enough.
Michael, what did you play?
Yeah, I did third.
Third, yeah. I like third. I like a little, not first third where you're really close to his butt, but like kind of.
Yeah.
I'm close to his butt.
I like that. I like the butt in my screen.
I started in first person. I was like, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even try first person. But yeah, that was my main negatives is the story I didn't really care for, and that the game just doesn't feel polished. I think they could have took a couple more months to finish it. But Michael, you didn't really tell us your negatives, so go ahead.
Sorry, Michael.
Oh, go ahead.
Is the hunter always that church dude or the leader of the? Oh, okay.
That's all I had ever seen, but
yeah.
But going off a little bit on the Unity and the multiverse, what I was talking about earlier about it being cool is like Carlos was saying in one of the because it's kind of like, I guess it's randomized between, I think they've found like 12 maybe different kind of versions that you can go through the story, and one of them you actually meet yourself, like your version of you doesn't die in that universe, so you get to like,
oh cool,
like you both come up to Sarah and she's like, hold on, I didn't know you had a twin, and they're like, wait, what the heck, and like the whole kind of like
that was the first thing. Yeah, the first thing I see in this new universe is I'm like dead on the ground.
Yeah, so there's a few cool things in it. That's going to kind of like about. It's a clever idea to actually have a purpose in New Game Plus rather than just, hey, beat it again, do this. Like this, like you can choose. Carlos was saying you can like choose to give information or hold information back, and it kind of alters how that kind of storyline plays out. And you can just kind of keep playing with it and rinse and repeat however you want to do it and get different experiences that way. So it's really cool. Not for me, like I said, but I feel like most of my negatives I kind of went off in the beginning about it, just not being free flowing and just being so cut in, cut out, and all that kind of stuff. The characters, really none of them I cared for. Like in most games like this, like you want a good cast of characters. You're like, man, I want to know what happened. Like you think of Mass Effect of all time, Mass Effect 2. You want to do every single companion mission because you care about all those freaking characters.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's going on. Like I did Sarah's companion mission. I did the cowboy, what am I playing? Cole's Sam Cole, there you go. His companion mission, but I was like, I don't care to do the rest. I don't care about any of your stuff. Andrea's freaking whiny butt can just stay in the cockpit or stay somewhere on another planet. I don't care. I don't want to hear about her story anymore. So I just like nothing really in the world drew me in. Like even the environments. When I think back to like Fallout 3, you got Megaton and all these cool places, these interesting like landmarks that you think of. When I think of like New Atlantis, I think, I fast traveled to the spaceport because I didn't want to deal with whatever the heck was the weird maze of the place that was going on. Like nothing really felt like it had a lot of character or interest to me in the slightest. And like even the kind of Western place, I wasn't drawn in or interested in going and checking out every area. When in Fallout, I'm like, let's go explore this town. Because I feel like when you come up to that, it's kind of like the reward of traveling for so long. It's like, I'm finally in a big city. You can, stock up on this, go check this out. I'm like, if I need something, I'll just fast travel to Atlantis because it's just a spaceship away. And rather than the kind of like, I mean, you can always fast travel in Fallout, but
that's what, for a game that's built on exploration, they don't incorporate it well into the story.
Yeah.
Like side quests, you get them and then you go to the planet they tell you to go to. Instead of like, it'd be cool if you landed on a planet and then you meet people that kind of throw you into the side quests and stuff like that. And then a lot of games do bounty hunting now, but the bounties never have really a story. And it would be cool if they had more of a story, like Jedi Outcast. They had bounties in the boss. They were kind of cool because they were like bosses. Mm-hmm. But even those that you don't get like into their story, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Survivor. Yeah, Survivor. There was an Outcast. I was like, huh? It was a long time ago. But it'd be cool if they kind of put stories into the bounties.
Yeah.
And like make you, maybe I don't want to turn this guy in. He didn't really do anything wrong. But I would like to see in games like Starfield the side quests built more into the exploration, and not feel like not have like those boards, the mission boards, and basically
I really don't like those. I don't like when games do that. It's like you're just fetch quests and you're just trying to give me filler and like so much of a problem I've had with several games this year. What I'm going to talk about in a minute is like this just need to just fill the game with stuff. Fill. Just stuff it. Make the dollar to time thing worth whatever to people. But then like the most wonderful thing about Spider-Man 2 came out and they're like, to 100% this game, it takes 30 hours for Spider-Man 2. That's not beating the game. That's 100% doing every single thing in the game. Like, yes, finally a game that's just like, hey, have fun. I'm like, yes, I don't want to do this waste of time stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's like if they would focus on just a few things instead of trying to throw 100 things into it.
Yeah, this game's basically the opposite of quality, or is the bad side of quality versus quantity. Yeah, it just chose quantity and they threw it like crazy. So I don't know, but I still enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah. So if I was giving a rating for it, I'd probably go 7.9.
Okay.
I don't know. Where do you guys think you are at?
I'd sit around like the like I go with like 3. What would that be? Is that like 7? That's 6. 6?
So like 3 out of 5?
Yeah, like 3 out of 5. Maybe 3.5 out of 5. Somewhere in that range where I think it's good. It's not great. It definitely disappointed my expectations of what I wanted it to be. But yeah, it's just it's just there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's definitely overhyped, especially being around Carlos all the time. And he was like, "Oh my god, the story is just freaking amazing." And
it's also like it's just straight up Carlos's alley too. Like everything they're talking about and all the stuff they're doing, like when you go through the diaries of the guy when you're starting to learn about everything and you're trying to find unity and everything, like that's 100% down Carlos's alley. And I enjoyed it, but it's like I've seen many stories like it though.
That was my big thing with this game. It just feels like a hodgepodge of like every sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it didn't give me my sci-fi because I was so disappointed in the story because with sci-fi you can do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything in space. But they grounded it so much with like, it's just
future, more along humans. I just so wanted it to be like first contact with aliens.
That would have been fun.
And then the New Game Plus was just like integrating these aliens into the world and seeing that. But just like, and they could have had this idea a while back, but it being multiverse and just like having like Marvel and Spider-Man and stuff like that, dealing with that. And it just felt like, oh, they just hopped on.
Yeah.
Multiverse is the new zombies.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate if they had that idea a while back and they're like, well, that's what we have
for ages. So
yeah, that's true. It's been one thing we didn't even touch on was the powers. Like I went through most of the game with one power, and then it was like, oh, it's time to get the temples.
That's good. Yeah, that's because getting the powers was the most annoying mechanic that I've ever done in my life. And I was like, I have the ones that I feel like I'm going to need. I had the control ones where I could control them. I had the lift and junk like that. And I was like, but the floating around that room to hit lights that you don't know if you're actually activating or not.
Yeah,
it drove me crazy. The first time I did it, I was genuinely angry because like, what am I doing? Am I doing anything wrong? I was so mad. I was so mad.
I almost got all of them.
I was like, why are you wasting my time?
There's only like 3 useful ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of just like looked at what they all did.
The one that like picks everything up is the one I like, the first one I got, and the one I used during the whole game. The only other one I used was the shield. And then in the new game, I'm using the solar flare. But there's one like that turns. There's one that turns like gravity, the Earth's gravity. Why would I want that? I want moon gravity because the best part is the flying around,
jump like a crazy bunny man.
Did you get the duplicate one?
Yeah.
When you make the duplicate, it does nothing. It just like stares at you, and I'm like, dude, shoot!
At least run in a circle.
I know, cover me or something. Distracts them. But yeah, it's been so bad that I've seen like people modding the temples, so you actually have to like do something.
Oh my god! That'd be nice. Yeah, it should have just been walk in and get it. Like, why waste our time like that? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, there's no need for that. It's just a waste of time.
Just collect the piece, yeah.
Or if like one was going around like that, and then one was like a little chorus or like something,
or take something out of like against Star Wars, where you had to get the Force powers, you had to like do a little puzzle.
100%.
Yeah,
just do that.
Man, that game's so good.
Stupid. Okay, so any last words on Starfield?
If I had to give it a rating, 7.
7.
If I had to pay for it, it'd probably be like a 6.
Yeah.
But since I got it on Game Pass, 7.
Definitely. This is definitely a Game Pass game. I mean, that's what they set out to do, is get a game for Game Pass, and I think this is the Game Pass game.
That's what makes me super interested, because you talked earlier about this being the game Xbox needed, and I'm so curious because like they keep touting the numbers of 10 million players. Like, I don't know what it's at now, but it's like, that's 10 million players. How many are actually paying for the game? Like, what is the success numbers of this actually?
All the Bethesda fanboys, because they had to get the
early access.
They had to pay, early access.
But it's
it'll be interesting to see, because like
what actually success it is.
But did a lot of people just
because everyone
pay for Game Pass for 1 month, and then like
everyone at work was like, "Oh, I need it now," so they got the early access, and I was like, "Dude, I can wait Friday to get it." I don't.
That's how I am too.
I will have to admit, I did do the early access only because it was Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, and I was off on Friday, so I had 4 days of nothing to do. I was like, that's $30 4 days. It's like going to see 2 movies, but I'm gonna get like 40 hours out of this. So I spent like $1 per hour in that time.
So with Starfield pretty much done, like I said, I'll probably scan some planets every once in a while, but I have downloaded a new game that I'm really interested in playing. And that's because I'm really like the developer. I think it's one of the developers who, and I'll tell you when I review it next time, but that's why I picked up the game, because the developer's cool. So
nice.
I'm ready to play that.
Are you playing the game that's supposed to be like Chrono Trigger, or made by the
the Sea of Stars?
Okay,
I had that down.
Yeah, Sea of Stars. I think that's on Game Pass, and I really want to play that, but I don't know if I have enough time.
That.
Yeah, it was on PlayStation Extra, so I downloaded it. But
So Thomas is very sad boy right now. So let's let him.
Because he's playing with his toy, and I think he lost it.
I was playing paper football.
So let's let him talk. Thomas, what's going on in your?
He's like Star world? Trek Gundams.
I'm out.
What'd you say though?
What is going on in your gaming world right now?
Well, I kind of went the opposite of Starfield for a while, and I got Baldur's Gate 3. That is, it's a very cool game. It's basically like playing a round of D&D is what it is, and there's so much stuff you can do. The amount of choices in this is just staggering. I don't know how they did it all. It's nuts. The amount of stuff that you can do is just insane. Speaking of charisma, for your guys' stuff, I have mine like almost maxed out on my character, which is funny because he's this white lizard guy, and the people are like, "Oh, you're so handsome." I'm like, "Am I?
Your scales are so shiny.
Am I really? Are you really attracted to this? I mean, cool, but all right."
I can shed.
No. The characters are pretty cool. There's this weird thing though that they really want me. I don't know why, but every dialogue choice wants me to romance this dude. Like
that's what almost, this game is about. Is all the romancing.
It's your berry.
Bang the bears.
Well, no, I get it. I understand that, and you can pretty much romance anybody. That's a thing. But I'm like, there are like some characters that you have to actually work at, like, getting close to them. This one is just like you feel a romantic tension in the air. I'm like, that's not what I'm putting down in this conversation. Like that is not what I'm doing. I'm just want to learn about magic. He's like, but it's almost erotic. I'm like, I mean, cool for you. Cool for you, bro. But I just want to learn how to learn about
like
the weave.
Patrick Swayze-ing you. He's like
pretty much. He's got like a mullet and everything. Yeah. He kind of does look like Patrick Swayze.
I have nothing against this game. I'm just glad the talk has gone down because that first week was just like, I can have sex with this person. I can have sex with this person, and I'm like, I don't care.
I can modify
That's
my genitals.
Opposite of Starfield, because I feel like Starfield promised us that and did not deliver on that at all.
Well, there's some pretty graphic sex scenes. I'm just like, oh my, can I not skip this, please? But yeah, it's good. I had to take a break though, because everything is such a drain on your brain. I was just like, God, I don't want to think. This is just too much, because I have to think about all the combat. The combat's hard, and
I've heard that.
Every social situation too, you have to balance out your entire party because people want to kill each other and they don't get along because of their religious views. I'm just like, I don't care about any of y'all except for the one I'm banging. And can you just stop?
This is just our chat.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And it's just, I had to take a break. And what's funny though, is that I had to take a break because I played hours of this game, but not on purpose, because I kind of told you guys about this. The first time I went through, I missed almost all the characters to recruit.
What do you mean you missed?
I missed.
You missed.
Yeah. So when I'm like, where are these people? Turns out I didn't turn left where I was supposed to go at the very beginning of the game, and I missed out on almost all my party. So I played the first 20 hours of this game with 2 people in my party, including my character. And that is hard. And I got through it all. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. And then I was looking up some game videos. I'm like, where are these people? I've seen these people on the cover art. Where is this? Where are these people? Turns out you're supposed to recruit them when you get off of this part of the ship. And I'm like, oh crap. So I go back over there. They're gone. The characters are gone. They're just not there anymore. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, crap. So go back through. I forgot why I had to restart the second one. I think it's because my game glitched and I didn't know how to get out of a situation without just dying. I couldn't get past the level. I didn't know how to do it. So I'm like, well, I can't progress any further. I've been trying this for almost 3 hours. to get past this part, and I can't figure this out. And I'm watching like games, like tips. Oh, I remember why. I killed an enemy, but for some reason, like the game glitched out and the enemy just didn't exist on the map, but it was still like an open quest. And I'm like, okay, well, I killed her. Can we progress? Nope, couldn't progress. So I had to restart again. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, you can. I don't really care anymore. I think I've played more than most people have at this point. So, but it is good. I will say, it kind of scratched a D&D nerve that I like. So the next one,
probably like a year later, I'll play it when all the hype's gone and everything's died down. I'll probably try it.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty.
Stay away from bears, Jared.
Yeah, stay away from bears. I will say that it is fairly friendly to people who haven't played one, especially if you have like on tutorial. It tells you how to do everything.
I played one for the GBA that was really fun.
Well, and sometimes it doesn't tell you how to do things, but they're not necessary. But I just like tried this out, and like this one woman I was supposed to kill because she's like an assassination target. Well, I can fight her, but she's really hard. All I had to do was like bait her across a bridge and get her to stand there, and I just destroyed the bridge, took her out. I was like, oh, well, that worked. Cool. I didn't even have to fight her. So weird stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun. So I took a break on just having to think, and I replayed Modern Warfare 2, like the original Modern Warfare 2. Just complete brain drain. Nothing to that really.
Point and shoot. Very simple.
Yeah, pretty much. I was telling Michael, I did force it upon myself to try to do something. I used only Israeli made guns in the whole campaign. So I was like going through like, that's a Tavor, I got to get that. That's an Uzi, I got to get that. That's a Desert Eagle, I got to get that. I'm only playing with the Israeli guns. So, but it's fun. What's his face? Keith David, coolest voice ever. Like, such a sexy voice. I wish I had it. Yep. Goliath, man. Goliath from Gargoyles.
True.
So I did get, since it's free on PlayStation Plus or whatever it's called now. I don't even know what it's called now. I played Callisto Protocol. Kind of glad it was free, to be honest with you. Was not impressed with this game, which is really sad. Because I heard some of the same, like a lot of the same developers as Dead Space, right? From what
I think just one of the guys from Dead Space.
Is it just one?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I know.
It's the DNA of Dead Space is all over this place. So it sounds weird.
Yeah. Tommy's.
I don't like. Did you guys like this game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't love it or think it was better than Space, but
it wasn't scary at all. And that's I think that's one of the biggest like disappointments for me, because I was reading some like reviews like, oh, this is one of the scariest games I've ever played in my life. I'm like,
that's a goofy review.
Cool. But it wasn't scary. It wasn't particularly hard, except for the last like 30 minutes of the game. Then the difficulty rating went up for some reason. I mean, I was just not very impressed. Like the graphics look great. It looked fantastic. Nice. Like this and I knew the guy was the guy from Transformers. Mm-hmm. What's his face?
Josh
Burchell or something like that. Dumel. I was like, why does he look familiar? And turns out it's him.
A little bit of Sam Witwer in there as well.
Sam Witwer's great.
Premium as always.
Can't not like him because Sam Witwer. He was roided out at the end though. Oh my God, that guy had no neck. He's like, but yeah, it was just kind of disappointing. I was just like, I'm not really threatened. I'm not like, I didn't die except at the very, very last part. Really, I was just playing on normal too. I heard people was like, oh, this is really hard even on normal. I'm like, not really. I mean, this is pretty easy. even the final boss didn't give me that much trouble. So I like saved up all my credits and I got the assault rifle and I printed off like 300 rounds of assault rifle ammo and just laid into the guy.
Didn't we just upgrade our stick because we're like, this is the
Oh yeah, the stick was the best.
That thing was like the most powerful thing. The thing is, I always got frustrated with the combat though with the stick. It was just, I prefer the wrench, the giant or the pickaxe that you had at the very beginning. That was cool. So
there is something that most people suggested you probably didn't do was to change the dodging, which makes it less frustrating. There's a setting you can do to change it in there that basically when the game came out, everyone did it because it just made it way more fun. So that's probably what changed that to make it frustrating for you. Cause like immediately I changed that because I was like, nope, this sucks.
Well, like the camera angles were so weird when like you would go into the Wreckham part. It would like go all the way around and like focus on that. I'm like, okay, cool. But now I have my back to all the enemies that way. And now I got to turn around. And for some reason it would like, you would go into walking randomly sometimes. So I don't know.
I miss all the shimmying in that game.
So much shimmying. So many.
But it's not scary. It's just like a weird prison break.
Yeah.
Well, someone made the joke. It's like, you know what? We designed this prison for a bridge to collapse on somebody every 5 seconds. And they do. Like, I think it happened 5 times the amount of times that a bridge collapsed from underneath
it was on fire,
the main
Thomas.
character.
It was on fire.
Oh, there you
Everything.
go.
You know what's kind of weird in that game that was like a holdover from like last gen? Is like, you know, when you're like sliding down the sewer and you have to like dodge the...
That is an old kind of style gameplay
mechanic.
Besides that, I was playing a bit of Cyberpunk 2077. And
just a touch.
Well, the thing is like started and then they came out with that massive update. I'm like, oh, when I heard it completely like changes everything. So I'm going to have to buy the update and try that again. So
I need to play that game.
It's fun, but it's not amazing. I wish it was better. Apparently it is better with this update. So
that DLC that came out is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
I just need a couple side scrollers after Starfield. So.
Yeah, you need something simple.
Yeah.
Size.
I did attempt Castlevania.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which one?
Symphony of the Night.
Oh.
So awesome music, but man, the thing is hard.
Yeah.
But the music is pretty awesome.
They're always pretty good.
So, all right. Who's next on this?
Jared, do you play anything?
No, I just focused on Starfield. I got Carlos's old VR headset, so I'm probably gonna get Beat Saber.
Heck yeah.
Workout.
No, I never get a workout for me. I just like going with the weekend, just going.
All right, Michael.
What
you got for us?
2 games that I played and beat, apart from Starfield. One was a massive surprise to me. Mortal Kombat 1, which is I'm not a big like side-scrolling fighting game. It's very, very rare that I get into one. But Johnny one time he was like, let's just play a bunch of fighting games. So we started with the new Street Fighter, then we played a little bit of Tekken of 7 because 8's not out yet. Played Soul Calibur 6 and we played Mortal Kombat 1, but we actually we did the whole story of Mortal Kombat 1. And like I don't know what they did. I don't know what Mortal Kombat 11 was like the camera angle is further back, the character models are a little smaller, and like the speed of this game is so good. Like of how everything kind of like flows and everything.
It's about time Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like Mortal Kombat always has felt kind of like sticky and clunky, and like you press the button, it's like that. Like this game feels so freaking good to play.
You need to try 11. Like that's one of my favorites.
But what's hilarious is it felt really great. We were playing it docked with a Steam Deck. And I'm like, I really like. I put this on my PlayStation wish list, so when it's on sale, I'm gonna buy it at some point because I want to play this like in a like 4K glory or whatever, like make it real pretty. Because like we're like the Steam Deck kind of makes everything look darker and it's not that pretty. It's a little grainy. I mean, it still looked good in it and it was smooth enough. But the fact that I enjoyed it that much and was playing on that kind of like setup was so surprising because
that resolution.
It was like it's a very like campy and fun. It's like what the movie should have been. Really, really goofy. Like you start off like seeing Johnny Cage and his acting career and how he gets recruited to go, because it's like a different. Speaking of multiverses, going into the multiverse of Mortal Kombat.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's 100% what it does. But so like all the characters are kind of reversed. So Raiden is someone like normal and everything, and like Liu Kang is basically Raiden in this story. But super, super fun. Love this game.
What if it's worse on your 4K?
It's just like, oh god, it's like the more frames makes it worse. It's like, why is it slow now? There's more frames. What's happening? That would be very sad. But yeah, so really enjoyed Mortal Kombat 1. Then I went back and finally got back to Final Fantasy 16. So where I had left off last time was I was about 3/4 through the game, and it just hits like the middle just hits this. What I was talking about, I was going to mention earlier, was bloat. Like this game is so freaking bloated with absolute nonsense. All the side quests are useless. All of the areas are useless. This should have been a linear single player story driven game, because the story driven parts and the gameplay are amazing. The characters are amazing. Those like the environments, the music, everything leading to everything is so well done. And then you hit these just slogs of mud. It's like hitting this big like sand pit and you just can't walk in it. And it's just like, I just want to continue the freaking story. And you have to step through and do these stupid things and talk to random people and walk around when you don't really walk. There's no run button. The run is, like I said last time, you hold the stick and he walks. And then when you get to open areas, he walks. Then he kind of speeds up and then he starts running. But if you stop, then you got to start walking again. He speeds up and then he starts running. It's like, it's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. This game, it's probably my most disappointed game in the sense of what it should be. Like this game, you cut out all that stuff. This game is freaking amazing. The acting and the story is.
You love 15, right?
I love 15. 15's campy and goofy and fun.
Well, I was gonna ask
heart to it, but
because like when 15 first came out, it was not very good.
I played it when it first came out, but
they put a lot more into it the next time around, and they like expanded it. They cleaned up the mechanics a lot.
Mission 13 of that.
Mm-hmm.
I played it before, so I don't know what they changed. I remember being bored during it, but everyone's like, "Oh, they finally fixed it." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't."
Well, they made it a bit more streamlined too. Yeah. So it was easier to get across like the entire, because I mean that's an open world. Yeah. But they made it kind of a chore to get across everything. But apparently it's a lot easier now. I have always wanted to go back to it because I enjoyed playing it when it first came out. I thought it was kind of cool, but the story really didn't capture me at all. And apparently they updated like all the episodes to where it has a better ending. And I don't know.
Speaking of open world, did you guys see that report? I think the new Mass Effect is not going to be open world. They said.
I think I saw some tidbit about that, but I'm
okay with that.
Yeah,
like because I mean, you look at freaking Andromeda, and that was just a mess. Like
Andromeda is a good game. I will stand by that.
Yeah, the story is terrible.
Did you finish it, Joseph?
Yeah, I beat it.
Okay. You're the only other one other than me that finished that game. But
I got to a certain point. I was just like, I can't.
It's not. It's like. The Mass Effect name does the game harm. It's still fun to play. It still has fun characters.
That's one of my biggest disappointing games. It's just because of the story. Like combat's there, it's fine.
This is going to be a weird point against it for me. I didn't like any of the romance characters at all. Nobody
the cast wasn't as good as the other cast.
Have your bear in there from Baldur's Gate.
And
not the one I was recommending, but
so much they could have done with the story and they didn't do. Like, where the heck were the Quarians?
The main character
like
kind of sucked.
Yeah.
What main character? It's just a plank of wood.
But anyway, off of the Mass Effect stuff, where the heck were we? Oh, back to Final Fantasy 16. Anyway, so beat the game. Very much enjoyed it. Just the bloat of that people feel like it needs to be done, which kills me because they're like, "Oh, we finished this game a year ago." What their main quote that pisses me off is, "We didn't make this an open world game," which I don't want open world games if they don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. We didn't make this an open world game because we wanted to make open regions that are really fleshed out and dude, it's laughable. There is literally nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do in any of these areas. no side things, no nothing. There's always
no pinball.
No pinball. There's always one freaking vendor and then one other person that does something, and the rest is just bloat, dude. It's like Pokemon. You just run around, you find enemies. That's
hey, whoa.
It's just, but like, no need
to, no need for that.
There's no.
You've insulted his religion.
God, there's no purpose to it because you're not capturing any of these things. It's just running around fighting. And the game, literally, I died once, which is crazy because the first 10 hours of this game are literally like a masterpiece. I died once in the first 10 hours. I didn't die again until the end of the game. Like that's like I stopped fighting these and like I don't want to level up because I'm just killing everything without trying. And it was anyway. And then they lock the hardest difficulty behind New Game Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just let you have that initially. Like it's called Final Fantasy mode.
I die a lot in Final Fantasy games. That's absurd. That's surprising.
But anyway, that's fine.
Oh, but it's not turn based, so
yeah, true.
That makes sense.
It's like Devil May Cry-ish / Dark Souls
combat. In turn based. Yeah, in turn based, I die a lot.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, cool. It's like the enemy has four turns, and I was like, oh.
Except Persona 5, I don't think I died once in that game.
I didn't either.
Too many. But yeah, and then the only thing I've ever playing, I'm 3/4 through Alan Wake 1 again, preparing for 2. Can't wait for 2. We got Spider-Man, Alan Wake, and Ghost Runner in the next 2 weeks. I'm ready.
There's a ton of games out there, man.
Dude,
you depressed the crap out of me just now, Michael. Because I missed the whole. No, I missed the fighting game community,
dude.
I hate fighting games online. It's either you get these impossible like people that you're like, how are you this good?
Yeah,
just trash. And then it's never fun interactions. It's always like it's miserable.
Hey, open invitation to play Mortal Kombat 11. Just saying.
1 is I need to try 11, but 1 is great.
I need to get Street Fighter 6, and then I probably get
Mortal
Kombat.
My least favorite of the ones we played.
Because you suck, Michael.
I suck at Street Fighter.
Like, no, not that he sucks at it, but he's a bad person.
It just felt the least pleasing to play. I'll say Tekken 7 probably felt a little worse. I expected Tekken to be more up my alley. Because it used to be back in the day. I was like, I love Tekken. But then playing 7, I mean, 7 is dated. It was a PS4 game. So 8's coming out this year. So we'll see how that feels. But yeah, Street Fighter is just like Mortal Kombat 1, which is weird because I never would have said this about a Mortal Kombat game. It has such good flow to it. The flow is amazing in that game. It's so weird to me. But
that is weird to hear.
It's very weird. You got to try it. You got to try it.
Who was your guy? I forgot to. I think I.
Yeah,
asked,
who is your main
in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
we just did the story, so we didn't really like fight around with anyone. We just kind of played through everyone. My favorite to play as? Oh no! Let me think about it, and then you guys.
I did download Guilty Gear Strive on Game Pass.
Oh yeah,
I want to try that one out.
Nice.
Mine was Johnny Cage or Raiden.
Johnny Cage.
I love Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is hilarious. I'm sorry, he's awesome.
I will say my probably lame answer would be Liu Kang in this one because he's like the Raiden character, so he's really strong. But like his moveset flows so well. Like that's what I love. I love him fighting games when their moveset flows, and man, his just
he has.
I like people that kick. I like
combos.
Kicks. Kicks are so good.
Yeah,
but it's also I don't know. You gotta try this one. It just feels.
I always like Liu Kang and Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
Always. But fun.
Can't be lame and say Scorpion, can we?
I mean, he's cool. I love him.
He's cool.
You just can cheese people with him because he can do the warp.
Yeah.
But
there's a challenge on Mortal Kombat 11 about fighting Scorpion, and all the AI does is warp. I was just like, okay, it knows it's cheap.
All right. Well, we need to get out of here before I talk about scanning again because I forgot about something. But
you gotta get some more planets, Joseph.
They need like a lore.
No, bring
like
it up.
Pokemon.
Bring it off.
Can lure animals.
There you go.
Anyway.
Before I zone out again.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta do some bonus stuff. So that's gonna do it for this episode of That's Game Stuff. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time.
Recording stop.